Hi everyone, thanks for joining. In this video I am making s'more cupcakes for a baby shower. I'm starting off with some graham crackers that I'm processing in a food processor. I was making 5 dozen cupcakes for the baby shower and for another event, and so I used 4 packages of graham crackers just for the base and about a package and a half for the decoration. So feel free to use as many as you need. I would say the average rule would be about a package per dozen cupcakes that you need and a little more for decoration. The easiest way to crush graham crackers I find is with a food processor or a blender. If you don't have those, don't worry, you can also use a plastic bag and a rolling pin and just keep on crushing, get your arm workout in. Next, I'm adding in about 1/3 of a cup of sugar and about 4 ounces of melted butter. I'm going to mix that together to see what consistency it forms. I'm looking for a wet, kind of sandy consistency that holds together when I press it into a ball. When I tested this mixture, it was a little bit too dry for me, so I added just a little bit more butter, maybe about 2 more ounces or so, and just mixed that thoroughly. There really isn't a huge recipe for this, or it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Again, you're looking for the consistency where you press it together like this, it holds a ball. I like to line my cupcake tin with cupcake liners. I like to use ones that are about 1.5 inches in diameter and about 2.5 inches tall. These are just slightly bigger than what I can find in a grocery store. I actually order mine online from Restaurant Supply Store. But once I have those lined, I'm then adding in my graham crackers. I'm using about a tablespoon to a heaping tablespoon's worth of graham cracker crust to each tin, and then I'm going to use a 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup measurement cup to just pack it all down and create a nice firm barrier. This is why I want my consistency to be like a wet sand and be able to hold its shape, because when you open the cupcake up after baking, you want the graham crackers to stay attached to the cupcake and not just completely dissolve and disintegrate and fall apart once you open up that cupcake. Now you want to add your cupcake batter. I'm using a chocolate cake, so I'm using a s'more cupcake, and so I'm using Sugar Geek Show recipe, and I'm adding a medium cookie scoop of batter to each little tin. If you would like the recipe to the Sugar Geek Show cupcakes, I will leave it in the description box below. And once it's all filled, you want to bake it at 350 for around 17 minutes or so. And here's a picture or a video of the finished cupcake without frosting. So again, nice chocolate cupcake with a sturdy graham cracker crust. I like to use simple syrup to keep everything nice and moist, and simple syrup is just 1 part boiling water to 1 part sugar. And if you want, you can flavor with things like vanilla or espresso to really boost those flavors. Now for the fun part, which is the decoration. I wanted these to be really tall and puffy to kind of resemble a s'more. Unfortunately, my frosting was a little bit thin. This frosting is basically 1 part frosting to 1 part marshmallow fluff, and the marshmallow fluff definitely deflates and makes things a little liquidy. So just be aware that if you're making this frosting, the marshmallow fluff will not be able to hold its shape like a traditional buttercream. For this, I'm using an Ateco 806 round tip. Because my frosting is pretty soft, it's looking a little bit more like a melted snowman than nice and puffy and light, but that's okay because s'mores, when you make them, are nice and gooey, so these will be too. Once these are piped, I'm going to pop them in the fridge so that we're nice and set, so when I pipe on my ganache, the ganache does not run off the cupcake. To decorate, I'm going to pipe on some ganache to my cold cupcakes. Again, these are cold. They've been chilled for about 30 minutes or so because I want that ganache to not just run off the cupcake. And if these were warm, it would just be kind of a soupy mess. To make my ganache, it's about 5 ounces of chocolate chips to about 2.5 ounces of boiling water. I use a water ganache because I am cottage law and I cannot use cream because cream is not shelf stable. Then to decorate, basically make it look like a s'more. So I'm adding in a 1/4 sheet of graham cracker and 2 to 3 marshmallows. If you wanted to, if you had a torch, you could definitely torch your marshmallows. I just don't own a torch. If you didn't want to make a ganache, you could also just use chocolate. So you could just add a chocolate section or a segment to your top of your cupcake. I chose not to do that because I didn't think my marshmallows would stick to the cold buttercream. So instead, I'm using the chocolate really to stick the marshmallows, but it still looks pretty cute. I know s'mores are traditionally made with Hershey's chocolate, but I want to talk to you more about the chocolate that I use. I use a 55% semi-sweet chocolate. It's made from Ganache, and I use it because it's fair trade. Fair trade is an organization that ensures that the farmers that are growing our crops are paid living wages. On average, farmers are asked to live on less than $2 a day around the world, which leads to a lot of unfair labor practices like slavery. And unfortunately, in the chocolate industry, child slavery is really rampant and used to grow and process all of this chocolate that we all love and enjoy. By purchasing and using fair trade chocolate, I'm just ensuring that I am not supporting the practice of child slavery and making sure that the people that are producing the crops that I use are able to provide for themselves and their family. And one of the great things about Ganache is actually found in most grocery stores. You don't have to buy big, like 20-pound bags to be able to use this. You can buy, normal size 12-ounce bags for your next baking project. So I hope you consider making these super cute, adorable s'mores cupcakes, but also hope you consider purchasing fair trade chocolate for your next baking adventure. Remember, I do post videos every second and fourth Friday of the month, and I will leave all of these links, including links to fair trade and everything, down below. If you like this video or you want to see more of my content, you guys know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button. And again, look in the description box below to get all of my fun links, and I will see you guys in the next video.